This is the Bottomline Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the Bottomline Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio.
This is the Bottomline Liberia. Good evening. Welcome to the Bottomline discussion, my brother. How are you?
Well, thank you, Paul. I'm great, and thank God that we are still around. And I want to say thank you for the show tonight.
Well, it's good to be back here for another edition of discussion. Before we get into anything tonight, my man, I just want to ask you quickly, how is the great city of, what's your city name again? I know you're in Norway. What's the city in?
I'm in a small city called Fagernes.
You see, the thing is, I think you need to start putting pedal into the thing or give, my man. That's the one that we will understand it. We see, we left from Liberia, we speaking language Fagernes, and then people we interpret differently, my man. Anyway, so how's everything over there?
In Norway? Names of people and even names of places are always not always, but mostly attached to certain things. Like some people are called Bjorn, which means teddy or bear, the bear in the bush.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they get some people who with that, like the Bjorn, they also attach another thing to it. So like where Fagernes is actually like a peninsula.
Right.
Yeah, it's like colorful or something like colorful peninsula. So normally some of the name places after the mountain or the water or something. Yeah, Norway. So Norwegian language is, I think, about 25,000 words. So not much, not many things. That's why they got 2-3 names, or let's say 2-3 items with one name. So because they not many words, 25,000 words. That's all.
So it's almost like Bon County. What they name most of the time after Rebel, like Pelala, Salala, this,
yes,
It seems nothing
exactly.
like that.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right. Yeah, this is good to hear. Welcome to the Bottomline discussion. To our viewers, welcome to the Bottomline discussion. Tonight we'll be diving into a lot of stuff here. Jamal, before we get into anything, I want to say welcome. It's been a while. We haven't seen you. How are you? And how is the great Manchester?
Thank you very much. Manchester is great. I'm doing all right. I think, thank God we're still alive. All in football. That's the one thing we do here a lot in the UK. But life is good. Thank you very much for asking.
That's great. Thank God to be among the living.
And by the way, talking about Manchester City, England, how you call this team? They just beat Argentina, Monaco. Just beat UEFA. They just beat Aston Villa 1-0.
Well, that's the beauty of football. So they keep beating each other. So to our viewers, we want to say welcome to the show. We are kind of asking you to please share the show. Tonight we'll be having a great discussion. And before we get into anything, guys, what on your mind before we take our musical break and then share the show? Linfo, I'll start with you. What on your mind? And then Jamal.
Well, what's on my mind is the event that just ended in Liberia. That is the passing and celebration and final resting of the late Senator Nima County Senator Prince Johnson. His passing was untimely, as most people will see it, and then he was a very controversial figure when it comes to so many activities in the country, both the war and then the political arena. So Senator Johnson left, in my own view, he will leave that indelible print on the minds of several people, thousands, in fact, the entire country. And it's in two ways, right? Some they see him as this very evil man, this man who left them orphans, this man who left them widows, this man who made them to be, with no parents, and he's wicked. And then others will say, no, this man put food on our table during the war. If he were not across the bridge, we would have died. Because I've heard people say that, write that. And then on the political front, it is this man who most of the political leaders that have served as presidents in our country depended on to give them that vote to be able to become president. So, he was a very controversial figure in every aspect of life. And Prince Johnson was this man who could sing. Prince Johnson slept in my town, in my village, when he crossed from Nima County into Bon County. The very first time he slept in was, and my late father was always talking about Prince Johnson. If I had not seen Prince Johnson with my own eye, I would copy that vivid, description from my father, how Prince Johnson gathered all the people in the town at night, even the people who ran away because of his entering the town. He had to send for them in the bush, the king, and he was playing music. He put the town people together. And my father would describe this man as a fine black man, very black, with some like small open tea on the side, and the man could sing, and the man can cry joke, and so Prince Johnson was just all over the place, and he was smart as well, So his passing and his final departure from this world, I think it was untimely, but he was well celebrated by his people who still feel that he's the king of Nima County. And we also saw the political drama that took place during his burial. So I think what's on my mind, he's gone to his final resting place. Now we're looking forward to see whether there will be anything much left about the establishment of the war crimes court in Liberia. So that's basically what's on my mind. At least in my mind, the chapter of Prince Johnson's life has been closed. The chapter of that book has been closed, and thereafter, we don't know what's going to come out next.
Great. Jamal, I don't know what's on your mind, and also, can you take us through what the agenda for tonight before we do our little musical intro for the sake of our audience?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you for your little. That's a touching one about a guy who is a very controversial guy. I'm not going to speak about Prince Johnson right now. My story is like, I think my colleague has said a lot about him. What happened right today in Liberia, Paul, before I go to the highlights of our tonight's event, will be, I'm looking forward to hearing the President's Sona address, which is coming on the 27th. When the arrest agenda came out, the president is coming up to say, after the budget has been passed, what we do expect in Liberia. Our hopes are high. We expect our Liberia. So I'm waiting and very, very curious to see what the president will deliver on the 27th of this month, which will be a State of the Nation address. That is my expectation right now. I know we all want some things to hear from him and see how would that be implemented in the first term of his office. So that's what on my mind. Regarding what we have on the list and on the menu, we will be looking at, first thing we'll be looking at some issues in the health area. We'll be looking at what is prostate cancer? Why should we do a test earlier? No, that's another thing. We was newspaper dealers always like a newspaper carry the story. Why men should do early testing for prostate cancer, and that's something we touch about. I think we all directly or indirectly affected by this particular disease condition. That's one. We'll be looking at a radio station, a young youth radio station in Lofa County rejected a donation from one of the county representatives. We'll be looking also at the story of what's happening. Those who've been arrested for the house, the Capitol building some people have been arrested. That's another story we'll be looking at, and another group will be looking at some major people in the House. I think the House of Representatives they may not want to attend the SONA, which is the State of the Nation address by the president. They are denying that they are saying they will not attend the president's speech. So the other things on it, those are the main key things we'll be looking at, other stories as well. But the key things on our agenda tonight. If you just join, we wanted to share the show while we go for a musical break. And we want to hear from you as well. For anyone who's following or want to be interactive, drop your comments. Let's share it. Let's see what you think.
Great. That's great to hear. Guys, please, to our viewers, if you're just joining us, kindly share the show and welcome to the Bottom Line discussion. Before we go for a short musical break, what on my mind is Donald Trump. This guy was sworn in yesterday, and he came up with some executive order, man. And the crazy man is back. We have to deal with this guy for the next 4 years. The world now is looking at the president, the comedian, the street talker. So, yes, he came up with something yesterday that is a kind of strange. Jamal, you know, the last time we had a conversation and he told me about this group that have the band name, what the war again? This gender-based something. So Donald Trump have not come up with force, man. If you're born as a man, you're a man. Born as a woman, you're a woman. And that's the thing that is trading in the U.S. So, yeah. So we have the crazy guy back. The Americans have given us a crazy man, or entertainer, or street talker. So every day you wake up, you hear something about Donald Trump. He will make you laugh. He will call people fake news and all that. I mean, I just looking forward to the next 4 years for a good entertainment from this guy. Some of the world leaders in Europe are now jittering to have Donald Trump back, and this will see. And he promised something that really caught my attention. He said he's a man of peace. So we know that there will be the end of the war in the Ukraine. And the day before he could take office, there was a ceasefire in the Middle East. So that's good news. Let people start dying. And he made a peace. But then he wants to start something in Panama again, to say that the Panama Canal is owned by the Americans, so that will be another trouble. And he also wanted to buy Greenland. So it'll be interesting to see how Donald Trump, the entertainer, the straight shooter, the comedian, everything in one. That's how I see him. But to our American brothers and sisters, that's how we classify Donald Trump in Europe. He is a comedian. So kindly help us share the show to now we have interesting topics. So we'll take a short musical break while we share the show. Kindly share the show, please.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. People fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are heroes? Where are the gods that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the forever. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie.
They can steal, they corrupt, the people fool us. Welcome to the Bottomline discussion. Gentlemen, it's good to be back here for another fascinating discussion tonight. Guys, Francis, welcome to the Bottomline. Good to have you back here. Jamal, Linford, it's good to have all of you. To our viewers, we want to kindly ask you, if you're here with us for the first time, kindly click on the like button, and when the show comes on, you can be notified. Kindly help us also to share the show. Gentlemen, another day, another show. Welcome to the Bottomline discussion. Linford?
Thank you once again. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Linford. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for the show tonight. And we just want to encourage our viewers to also help us to share the show to your various platforms and your various friends, so that they can be with us while we go through the discussions.
That's right.
Yes, thank you.
So welcome, Francis. How are you?
I'm doing good, my brother. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. I see you in high spirit, man. If the rescue mission is on high spirit, that's good news in the house, man. I see my brother. This is
the conductor in the rescue train.
1 year of success, putting the country in order.
He's a conductor in the rescue train.
So, guys, it's good to be back here. But Jamal, let's get into business.
First, guys, thank you very much. Thank you. I want to say once again, thank you. Welcome back, Francis, Paul, Lane for all from across Europe. We want to first look at what's happening in our health as men. Sometimes it directly or indirectly affects every one of us. This is concerning, and it's prostate cancer. You know, we came across in the news, but there was another news spot today, came out with a story called prostate cancer testing. And we want to see, some of us may have some story to share, and we want to see why it is so important we mention tonight. Before we go to our key story, we want to mention the prostate cancer. Why should we worry about it? Is this something to be a concern? Is it what group they do look into? And why are we alarming, making first early alarm, making much noise about this? Should we worry about this? And this is what I want to start with you tonight, Paul. So this is the story. The dealers don't carry the story. This is if you just join, I would want to look at prostate cancer. You say why men need early screening for prostate cancer. So what we're going to do, being not a medical practitioner, none of us here has a medical background, but we want a little bit from our own understanding. How do you guys understand this, and why should men? Because the story is saying that we are lost. Most of us may indirectly suffer this condition from our uncles, brothers, nephews, whatever you may call them, cousins, and they might have gone through these things. And we tend to neglect this condition. It starts very early, and at a certain age, men like from the age of 40, more especially considered to be among the black skinned people. At the early age of 40, we should begin to go for screening to detect any sign of prostate cancer and or prostate issue coming up, health issue. And we're not figuring out, well, why should we worry about this? Sometimes I want you to see, guys, what do you think? What do you share? What is your story about it? Do you have any idea or any story to share with us tonight? And if you are joining us, you have some story to share. We also like to hear from you. Medical practitioner, whoever the story is, please drop in. We want to share with our audience as well.
That's good.
So we can start from Paul, Linford, or Francis. What's your take? What do you think of this? We should be worried about this specific disease condition. Why should we be worried?
Well, thank you, Jamal, for this topic. Although we are not medical practitioners here, but it's something that is among the black people. It's one of the major killers among the black race. And I know few person in my community are died from prostate cancer. And that's why when you reach 40, the doctors advise that you do or screening to see if it's there. So the earlier when it's detected, it can be prevented. It's something that most African men tend to overlook. And this is something that I know. One of the senator for River G County, he died of prostate cancer, and something that he was very close to our family. And something that he went to India for treatment, but it was too late. So it's something, if they don't serve or front page, whichever newspaper carrying this, I think it's a good thing that people now take it serious and then go to the hospital, do a checkup. That's all. It wouldn't take long. The checkup is quick, maybe 5 minutes, and then the result, they will tell you the result. So I think it's something that we all need to do, because at age 40, that's when it starts coming up. So it's good. My advice, all men need to look at this carefully.
No, but the thing is, Linford, you want to come in?
Flow.
No, look, I do this thing every year. I know it's the doctors. I don't know about Liberia, but I don't know what year, but yeah, they all if we pass 40, maybe 40, 50s, they always have an appointment time for you to go and check out your prostate. So they do screening regularly. So one thing, I don't joke with my health. My wife is a nurse and a surgical nurse. So like, as soon as I get a headache, I run into the clinic. She said, "You like?" I said, "No, man. I mean, go there first. But I want no story, So I always run to the clinic, bro. I always go to the referral, the clinic. Then if anything serious, they send me somewhere else. But it is like, but it's good. Because they have killed a lot of people in Liberia. We do not go for checkup, but thanks to the evolving time, men in Liberia now, people go to do this to check up. Most guys they go and do their physical. They call it physical in Liberia every year. Probably so I advise that you go and do it every year, or probably 2 times a year.
Well, the question why men need early screening for prostate cancer, like Paul put it rightly, this is one of the major killers for men. Not only the African race, for men as a whole. So I don't know. Well, like we said, none of us here is a medical practitioner, though. Jimawo at TNR, I know why he's shying away. He should be explaining to us. but you know, they say men. Chadera Brian is accusing us. Say generally we are afraid of doctors. Well, I don't know why. But like Francis said, I'm always running to the doctor, and I used to. I'm like going to the doctor. That's why even one time I went to the doctor and asked my here we call it fast doctor or fast something like your permanent doctor. And I asked the guy, a friend to me. We used to play football together a long time ago. And I went to the guy, to the doctor. In fact, I booked an appointment. I went there. He asked me, "What happened?" I said, "I came to ask you whether there is anything you can recommend, like tablet or any injection or anything that I can take to get fat." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because all of my friends, everybody getting fat, and I'm slim, and I feel bad." He said, "At the time I used to work in the hotel. And in the hotel, we get big training center there." So he asked me, he said, "Something wrong with you?" The word you use, I want to use it on myself. He calls me. He said, "Something wrong with you?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "In the training room, you can see those five people going there to train whole day." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You think why they go there to train? Because they are in bad health. That's why they want to keep their health." He said, "But I will tell you something." He said, "Even me, you see me, and he's a small guy too." He said, "There is something called it's like okay, like you burn high metabolism, you burn fast very, very quick." He said, you can eat butter whole day, you can eat even pig fat food, you get high metabolism. Okay, so you burn fast. There's no way that you can get fat because your body is burning the fat. You can eat fatty food, no problem. So you see, it's always good to check these things. Besides the prostate cancer, there are a lot of other things that we need to check as men. But sometimes, like Chadela said, maybe we are afraid to go there too, for some reason that you will catch yourself some kind of way. No, but I think it's very important. Prostate is one of the biggest killer of men all over the world. So it's good to start doing it early. Like somebody put the age at 40, from 40 up. The body can start naturally declining. A lot of things can start declining on the body. So it's good to check it. And I don't know, but I'm still confused about prostate because long time ago I heard that men who I don't know what I should talk this. Men who have intercourse all the time, very frequently, do not suffer from prostate cancer. Then some people say again it can cause prostate cancer. So I'm still confused. That's why the kind of topic we would need somebody with medical background to really explain it to a person like me, because I'm confused whether too much of it will give you the prostate or too much of it will reduce the prostate. I don't know, but I think all in all it's good to do the screening to see how you end up.
So
Right.
somehow
Okay.
Jamal who have some medical experience, he can tell us. So
Yeah, well, there's a video circulating around from one medical doctor saying that being sexually active as a man, having sex 20 times in the
21 times
month, you have
21
20
times.
times.
Okay.
21 times in a month, you are likely to be excused or to be exempted from prostate cancer. But my understanding, guys, is this. I'm just looking at the record here. In the year, in 2022, there was a record from the report that 1,467,854 people were diagnosed for prostate. And that means that if you look at it, sub-Saharan Africa is also one of the greatest area. The incident rate in sub-Saharan Africa, where we are covered, is very high. Black race seems to be the high. I don't know why they're saying that. It could be from gene, or we don't know. But the fact of the matter, what we're talking about, gentlemen, is if you're following us, we want to talk about earlier testing. It starts with it treats people in different form. It come with a lot of signs and symptoms you won't know first. But in the condition, if we talk about Liberia and other African countries, do they have the facility to identify? Because in the West, it's easier. Sometimes they come here, they just do a simple blood test. From there, they just pick. They'll what they need to do. They'll use your backside and get some specimen from there and test that and know whether it's where you're having the high risk of being carrying this kind of condition. First, you will know that whether your prostate is enlarged, that's been bigger. From there, you see you're going to become cancerous. So there are ways of identifying it, but the disadvantage for most of us in Africa, we don't have the means of testing these particular conditions to know whether it's a possibility that we may have this disease. So most of our great people, big men in Africa, more especially, have too many conditions. At a certain age, they can't urinate anymore and got blocked. Your urethra got blocked and when the condition got advanced. So it starts from a lot of, sometimes they will say that there are a lot of ways that we can see it. Constant urination. Sometimes it can be different ways. You treat people in different fashions. But the fact of the matter, you need to check at the age of 40. But the question is, how do we check if you don't have the means? So we all come to how do you build our healthcare delivery system so these conditions can be prevented? This is the key thing we're talking here. We are blessed. Most of us living in the West. We had the opportunity of going to these hospitals to check early check. Last 2 weeks, I was in a hospital. I think I talked to Paul about it. I said, I want to check my prostate. I went there and I have to do the check. After 2 weeks, I called them up. They said, okay. So, but then how many of us had the opportunity to have these conditions? I mean, checked. Most of our brothers sitting down right now, they have the condition. They'd have to travel to Ghana, India, other countries in the world, around the world, to make sure those conditions are checked. When they get there, it's already in a very advanced stage. So when in the advanced stage now, you can't do anything about it, or advanced stage, whatever you call it. Now, at the time that it becomes cancerous, your urethra, you can't urinate. And at the end of the day, you have to eventually have to put it on life supporting machine. And that happened to most of you guys, most of our politicians have traveled with these conditions. We don't have the means. So we want to see if the government our governments in Africa or those in authorities can help to come up with a system or to improve our medical facility or medical healthcare delivery system. So our people, not only cancer, not only prostate, we also talk about these cyclical where women have to go through these fibrosis, what they call it fibroid in Nigeria. It's not easily checked. It's one of the common conditions for among Black women as well. So we will try to find when they will get medical doctor to come and explain to how can this be prevented? How can we know the earliest signs of these or symptoms for these conditions so it can help us? Because not only we talk politics here, we also need to talk about the lives of our people. How can they be prevented? How can they live a normal life when they don't have the way of checking it? So this is very important, gentlemen. This is the idea. And also we ask you, if you're following us, we will continue with different topics on the show. If you have an idea, you have an experience to share with us, please drop your information in the chat room, or you want to call, we'll make the line available so you can also tell what you think.
Great. And if you join up for the first time, can you share the show? This is we'll have the doctors here probably next week to give more information on how to prevent some of these things. You talk about the breast cancer, prostate. These are all common things among men and women. So we'll have the doctor here next week to inform us how do we go about preventing some of these diseases that and Leaf already said, as we get older, man, I used to run while playing football, but now this running is like it's like something pulling my foot back. So it just shows you that when age catch up with you, it catch up with you. So we just have to keep looking out of ourselves and checking the doctors. Yeah. So Jamal, let's move to the next topic. You muted.
This is quite a little bit of story. It came from the story newspaper called The Investigator. Probably most of you may not know about the newspaper. It's in Liberia. It's just mostly online. Probably we know decision Lofa County. They turned down donations from one of the representatives, I think Cyrus Momo, who gave them motorcycle donation, and they turned it down on the ground that they're policy conflict. I mean, why this story is so important? It's very strange in Liberia that we turned down gifts. But it caught my eyes. I want to bring it to our guys to see if we can discuss it. You guys turned the gift down. They said, look, they told the representative, look, We don't need this gift because your policy, what you've been saying, it doesn't go along with what you're giving us. So we will not want you to be influenced. We don't want to be influenced by your gift. So thank you for your gift, but take it back. So, gentlemen, just like, is it very common in Liberia where we see poverty at the highest rate there, we turn down gift? So this young radio station called Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County turned down a gift, a motorbike. If you know of any, share with us. If someone has been turning down the gift, let me know. So this is why we want to share the story. It's quite interesting to know because where we see everybody looking for, Paul would say one time on the show, we always do muya to get the blessing of the boys because they got deeper pockets. They gave up, pay something or put on our table, we'll sing song behind every day, risk our life. But these guys say, I take your motorbike or your motorcycle, we don't need it. Because whatever you say, it's not in line. We don't believe in your policy. You got conflict policy, so therefore we don't want it. So this is the story. This is the first story talk of people going to a deeper political airlines here tonight. So I can start. We can start with anyone can take on, Paul.
Linford, you've been around for a while in the media area, and this is a radio station attend vehicle that will help them for their own integrity. That somebody they don't his message not in line with them. What your take on this?
Well, I think it all starts with integrity, because as a media institution, you should have norms and guidelines that you operate by. And I think one of those which is not only limited to Liberia but worldwide, one of those norms is the media should not be compromised. And receiving gifts from political figures, public officials, can sometimes compromise your work. Imagine this is a lawmaker, I think representative, and he's coming to give a radio station gift. So imagine by tomorrow or few weeks from now, this lawmaker is entangled into some mishap, maybe corruption or abuse of power and something like that. Do you think having received gift from him, this radio station will be brave to expose him? Then you will be conflicting your editorial policy with the interest of the man who gave you the gift. Now it's like, like we say in Liberia commonly, like, if you can't buy the hand that feeds you, you're hungry, you don't get hands to eat, your two hands cut. Then somebody taking the food and putting it in your mouth. If you boil that person and the person decide, okay, I'll not put food in your mouth again, how do you eat? So I think it has to do with integrity. I want to commend, like Paul said, Olejima, one of you said that, this is a country where everybody is struggling to make ends meet. But still, there are still honest people in the country who abide by the rules. So I want to commend these I know they are all young boys. I want to commend them. And this example they set should go a long way. All practicing journalists should do similar thing, because imagine maybe you walk to go cover one story, and at the end of the day, the person who is making, doing this press conference say, "Oh God, you come for some money," and the moment you take money from that man, you are compromised. So you got to go look at the best part of that story to present it. And I'm talking from experience, real lifetime experience. Sometimes we used to go and after the press conference, see everybody standing, everybody waiting for that envelope, and when you get home, when you get on base, you're thinking, you see now, the story, there are many part of the story, but you're thinking which angle I'll take the story from, so that this may will be satisfied. So you can compromise people. But I just want to say they were brave enough and they held their integrity high, and I commend them for that.
Wow. Thank you for that, Linford. Let me add my 1 cent to this before Francis come in. One of the guys that accused the media in Liberia as the fourth estate, a group that have been compromised for many reasons, because they don't really sell information the way it's supposed to be disseminated in Liberia. For some reason known to them. And for this representative, this lawmaker, for the young people to tell him now, maybe he had lied to them before. It would have been the first time. Maybe they say his message not in alliance with them. So maybe he decided to come back with a motorcycle to cajole them, people say. And they said, no, this time not going to work. So I think Bender are one of those people that accuse the media in Liberia as the band sold out. So it's a good news for me to hear that young people will stand with integrity and say, no, this is not happening. So Francis, what are your thoughts on this thing?
Look, besides the media, there are so many governmental institutions that
Like your police.
yeah, that has what you call it, these policies, and you're not to be taking gifts from people, but this is commendable. These I mean the management of this radio station could turn down the motorcycle, but I don't know how to operate because if probably the United Nations may give them a motorcycle, they might accept it. So
Yeah.
I don't know the source of a source of income, but that was brave, I don't think Momo had any ill intent to towards his gesture towards the media, the radio station. So yeah, but it's up to them. So I mean, maybe they have alternatives. So yeah.
No,
Yeah, but let me give you something.
let me disagree with you a little bit. Jamal will
Yeah,
come in.
Limbo,
Yeah, okay.
before you add to it, I
Jamal
want to tell you what is. No, I want to tell Limbo so Limbo can add to what he said. This is a statement from the newspaper. Sorry, from the reading management. It said, "I'll read it if you like." Is that the reading has declined from Senator Momo Cyrus from Lofa County to the misalignment with its policy on the donor contribution. Senator Momo, known for his community focused initiative, has offered a brand new motorcycle to boost the station operation that's in Zozo. However, it requests to brand a vehicle with the name clash with AVR long-standing policy and donor recognition. So, like we said, I want Lifor said, Lifor would like to come on that. They are saying that they're not taking it from the senator because it may also a conflict with the policies as a radio station. So whatever he thinking, they don't want it. And I don't know, but Lifor, you can speak on it. Just tell you what the station management said.
No, but I see the reason why according to he had his name on he wanted his name to be on I think name on the motorcycle donated by him. The reason why they rejected it.
Yeah,
They been running campaign.
Yeah, and that's it. That's where the ethical part comes in, right? Because imagine you a radio station, then you got one lawmaker donation with his name on it. So everywhere you go, people will take you to be part of him. Now, when we worked for Charleston radio station, it was Kiss FM in Monrovia. In fact, in Greater Liberia, we just had 89.9 FM in Habel, which did not carry anything about MPFL. Nobody knew what on it. Mr. Taylor did everything, but all in fact, nobody did anything. He and will buy everything, paying us. Okay. Then we had a shortwave station in Banga. Then later on, when Banga fell, then we opened a shortwave station also in Tuduta before we came to Monrovia, and then had Case FM. And there was all this noise. Oh, tell us to the 89.9 FM. 89.9 is now a radio station that just call letter. You just call letter, but people don't know that every radio station like bro, you see they want DC 101, this and that. It's not equipment, no, that just call letter because you go to the International Telecommunications Union and they assign that to you. That's why you hear all the radio stations everywhere in Liberia, even the one we're talking about now, it should be EL, Alternative Youth Radio. EL, that EL stands for Liberia. L. That EL is spelling for the letter L, and that's why you get ELBC, ELW, ELT. You know, so
eternal love winning Africa.
yeah, they just translate it that way. But you see, so when a lawmaker we want to personal life, because the next thing after he sent a motorcycle, the next thing now he will start monitoring what you're saying. You're gonna say anything bad about him. Then the next time maybe you'll bring car. Yeah. When you bring car now, you're in your pocket totally. See it? So when I started working with LLC, we were funded by USAID. And there was a group in America. I know what it is. You gotta try to find it. I can't find it now. It was called RRR, International Institute for International Relations. They built a station, they trained us, they did everything without Liberian government involvement, nothing. But those people on every card that we had, it was only on the LRC and Liberian Rural Communications Network. They never put their logo, nothing on it. No. See it? So everywhere we went, they know that Liberian Rural Communications Network. So you see, people do this thing with purpose. Eh? That lawmaker, why you want motorcycle? Be proud. You get the motorcycle and say, guys, you're taking. For what you renting your name money for? So there was a sinister motive. But again, I commend the boss because they know exactly some of them are thinking. They know that this will compromise them.
Good point, guys. Good point. Paul?
Yes, so I think you guys said it all. Let's move to the next topic, Jamal.
And I got something very hard from the international front later on.
Oh, you have it. Go on now. We're going to Liberian politics. Go on.
Okay. We all know that a lot of Liberians, and not only Liberians, but people from all over the world have benefited from something that has been of old age. I think from the time the American Constitution was drafted. But and that thing is like, if I went to America, I'm not an American citizen, okay, and maybe I found a girlfriend who also is not American citizen. Let's say we went to study, the both of us went to study, and we became lovers, and we have a child in America. That child is automatically American. The fact that he was born on the American soil, that person is automatically American. So if also a woman was pregnant and she went to America, she does not have a document. But the fact that that child was born, whether the father is from, let's say the two parents are Africans, and that's what a lot of Liberians will do. When the woman is pregnant, they send her they try her and send her to America. When the child is born there, they become, I got friends who benefited from that. In fact, family members who benefited from that. But Donald Trump has signed executive order yesterday canceling that right. And it's a lot of backlash. In fact, the moment he canceled it, two groups and a lady who is not American, undocumented, she joined with the two human rights group, and they sue the government. Just yesterday, right after the signing of that, they sue the government. So I think the controversy is there, and a lot of people are saying this is a God-given right that one person cannot just change with the tip of the pen. So Donald Trump is just coming. And the story says that this is just one of the many obstacles that his government will face. So I don't know how you guys look at that, and it's going to affect a lot of people.
No, during Donald Trump's first term as president, he came up with similar ideas, the bizarre notion of a policy. To scrap that, I think it has some challenges. Partially, I think he did, but yeah, he got some resentment. And unfortunately, he was what you call it? Not really liked it. So he just followed up on most of these bizarre things he planned during the last 6 years. Before he left power.
And just before the other guys can come, let me just throw in a reminder also. I don't know. In shaping international maritime, we also study this, that if, like for instance, those of us who can travel on a boat, cruise and thing, if you're traveling from here to London, say on a cruise, and you are in international water, and that child is born, or woman give birth in international water, that child belongs to the two countries. Like for instance, you are going to England and you came from Norway, so that child is citizen of both countries. The same way if woman give birth in the plane, that child is international citizen. So that in fact, in some instances, they give the child international passport. So you can belong to any, you can travel to any country, you belong to all the countries in the world. But I don't know how would this man want to cancel this. So we wait to hear what the lawsuit end up.
But I mean, I'm not American citizen, but common sense tells me that it is in their constitution to be able to do that. I mean, they have to how they call it,
have a referendum.
In there, so it should be amendment in our constitution to undo that. And you know, majority of Americans, they are immigrants. Even the Donald Trump himself, his parents came from Scotland and Germany. They are immigrants, so it's something that he will have to undo. That constitutional, so that's how I look at it. Maybe he will call referendum, they might have a vote on it, and then he can just do it like that. So there'll be
but he has some executive order, boy. He can't overturn it.
He can't overturn it. The thing is with the executive order, that for that, when I mean, there's clause in the law that Supreme Court will look at, say, wait a minute, you can't step this bound because that is a constitutional thing. It's big. It's not like, oh, today we're going to pardon Joe Biden who stole from Ukraine. No, it's not that case. This one, he said he's an immigrant. And Elon Musk, who is behind him from South Africa. So those are the people then too.
His own wife.
So this is a situation. So I said from the start of this show, I said we have a crazy guy, a comedian, and a straight talker. So every day the guy going to be in the news. And if people, all the comedians in the world now that can talk like Donald Trump, they can make money. Because this guy going to entertain us, man, for the next 4 years. So you just stay back, and I want to see the guy first visit. When he visit Europe, how he will treat the European leaders. He disrespect people. That's Donald Trump. So I'm looking forward to his visit here. The crazy man is back. Jamal, you want to say something about the crazy guy who move forward? Muted, bro.
Yeah, it's very sad. I think this is what American voters wanted, and they got what they want. The unfortunate thing, and most of our people that travel to that part of the world are going to be, they're going to have some backlash for his decisions. And most of the decisions will go against the immigrants. And this is what the Americans, some call themselves Americans, really, really want. They want to see most of our people through out that country, which is very sad. And in the now 4 years, it's just sad to say it's going to be trouble for us, trouble for our people, trouble for immigrants, trouble to make a daily life in America. And a good thing that the opposite side for comedians, they will run out of money right now. Because back on the stage, comedians going to make more money. When Obama was there, they couldn't make a joke out of it. The only thing they could talk about is you say he wore like a PM and like a pink, but that was it. They could not imitate him. They could not do some personal joke about Obama. But for Donald Trump, every part of his life is a joke. So comedians going to make a lot of money now, and that's a positive side. But the rest of it is just sad straight for people, more especially immigrants that are in that country. Every law in that country will kind of directly or indirectly affect the immigrant. And this is what some bunch of Americans want to see. They want to see how people being thrown out of that country. They want to see how people being disgraced. They want to see how immigrants are making their daily life in that country be, sabotaged. So we hope and pray that this decision will not go well for him as he tried to throw them out of their daily lives. A lot of people made their life in America. And I also understood that he just passed an order to close the Mexican border, or the seal of the Mexican borders, where a lot of people made their life, went through and make their survival. And America is a place of, it's a melting pot. And once you are there, you try to make it. And we wish well his decision, all those draconian decisions he's making will not go, in his favor. So we can hope that people survive and go through.
Yeah. And the thing, let me out something else, Jamal. You see the guy talking about deportation, right? Of immigrant. And I think he also going to stop the deviant thing that our brothers and sisters been fighting for to go to America from Liberia. So you see, when people, there's a very Liberian who wish for Donald Trump to come. So something you wish for, it can come to your
Yeah.
doorstep. So they shouldn't feel bad
You
when it
also,
happens because
you agree. And you
that's
will sadly
left.
find out, like, probably you
He
find
was
out that most
pressing,
of our,
pressing.
yeah, I agree, boss. It's
Yeah.
sadly you find that most immigrants also voted for him, thinking that he's coming for them, he's going to do something good for them. But what decision he's making is going to go against them. They think that, well, he's the right guy, he's a straight talker, I like him, he maintained of America, but what he says is all about against you. And also, many people carry guns in America. And too many killings will be happening around the malls, the schools, other places, public places. And this is America is a scary place to be right now for.
That's right. Let's move on. Let's move on, bro. What's next? Let's move into
Right.
Liberia. Mama
The next story now
Liberia.
we want to start first. Yeah, we want to go to Liberia right now, Paul. The next thing we'll look at, I think, is a good thing. First one, the question is a question. We want to take the question is, this is about the, we will look at, I think you guys last week talked about the government programs, the AARD policy, what is inside for. I think Lingo was very, very much more on top of it last week. It was a tough thing. He really, really talk much about it. But we want to see, the question is this. There's a question that says, what's the question? There's a newspaper that carry a question. One asks the question. This is the question. Is the Barker's agenda on course after 1 year? The just quick question is yes or no. If it's yes, why yes? If it's no, why no? That's the newspaper story we just asked it. After 1 year, is the agenda is it on course? But I would love for our brother to start on. Mono?
No, I'll be the last. I'm waiting for y'all. Y'all start.
Okay, so I mean, this Jamal.
Mono, why do you want to start?
No, it's all right. This newspaper, I think they're being very unfair to the rescue team, to be honest, because it was just a week ago when the rescue team came out with their developmental agenda. So the past year, it was just about them filling their pockets and then preparing to deliver from this January. According to them, January 2025 to January 2029. That's where the agenda actually kicks in. So the newspaper being very unfair to them. This guy got a big F from Amara Corner, who part of the rescue team. And everybody is kind of worried in Liberia. If you call people back home today, say, where's the rescue? They even talking, say, oh, Joe, we are time things were better. So the first year, the newspaper cannot put this on the rescue mission because the rescue mission went full flat and it failed. For me, I've been a moderate person. I might say I get in 50-50 for some of the things they did, but some of the roads that they patched and they put some solar street light around Broad Street for the Christmas. But apart from that, it's just a failure. So we know that January 2025, that's when it kicks in. So that means the end of January, which will be next week, before this AARD kicks in. We can't get any grade on this. So newspaper, I mean, you're being dishonest with the people.
No, let me get it straight, Paul. It is not a question. I'll put a question on it. They're saying, if you look at newspaper headline, it says Barker's agenda on course. That is in green. It means it's
not on course, my brother. That's what
it's on course.
It's not on course because
But then I think I disagree. I think I disagree. I have a disagreement. But let me have a link for it, then I'll put in my disagreement.
Okay.
Let me hear from you, then I'll put in my disagreement. What I say that the president program is stay delayed. I think I have my concern and reservation as well.
Good.
Again, I will repeat myself. If I should use double negative by saying over and over again, I'll repeat myself over and over again. But let me tell you, I told you people that the rescue mission, as they started it from the start, they did not have any agenda. And you are a government that sat in waiting for 6 years in opposition, and you knew in your mind then that there were things happening not right, and you were only waiting to fix it. You on a team, 11 players, then maybe you got 6, 7, 8 substitute. You are one of those. And the wing that you play is messing up. You can play number 9. The number 9 player messing up. You're just waiting for the coach to say number 9 can't go substitute your friend. And you sit there and see how the man missing the ball, they get the man penalty, kick it outside, all the thing. Then they put you there. Then you move from the 9 wing, you go play way number 5. You just start running all over the play. You can't do nothing. Then at the end of the game, almost 90 minutes again, they get an extra time, and then you say, okay, that is extra, they get an extra 5 minutes. He said that extra 5 minutes now, I come and go school. You start on 1 whole year. You promise that when you hit the ground, you start running. Your own word. Nobody forces you to do it or to say it. You start on 1 whole year, you don't do nothing. You dismissing people, appointing people, moving people from tenure position. You fighting behind one, how you call it, speaker to removing, doing all these things, okay? Without paying attention to your own agenda. Then 1 year gone, you enter year 2, then you go bring some kind of whole paper loaded with all kind of information that you know you cannot even achieve. The simplest thing that you said you're going to do year 1, that is to make sure that cars will not get stuck on major highways. At least
It's
even
also simple.
on all the roads, but at least keep it in good condition throughout. But as we speak, even in the city, the very city that you live in, the roads are bad. So, again, like I said last time, this is just another show. This is to buy time. This is to convince the voters, because that's what the people like to hear. Okay, this woman has been government for more than 40 years, so he knows what the people like to hear. Big promises. The mayor promises you the first year ain't do nothing. Then you come with paper, you say, okay, this is what we'll do. And you're standing there having hope. So for me, I'm hopeless. I know this document is only if, again, I'll repeat, if this document was designed for the government of the Republic of Liberia, that means any government, not this particular UP government, that they can work with this document, then I'll have little hope and say by the time the UP government leaves, this document will still be there and they will come, the other government will come and start from it. But if they think this is their agenda and they will achieve it, nada, zero.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I think
I want to just add. No, first will be the line. I just want to add my voice to my colleague here. It's just exactly what Leopold said. I mean, they all make him on the matter that he's experienced. And he's been waiting. I mean, like if and you are a coach of a different team, what are you picking up? You're picking on the mistakes of other teams too. The next time you got to play against them, you play well. Or the next time you get on the field to play against different teams, you perform well. On the ground that you did not do that, or you told us you were doing that. When you got there, you couldn't do it. Then after 1 year telling us you're ready to launch, or you're waiting for a budget to get passed, then that makes me to get concerned. So you don't know what you're doing. It will also take me, as you guys discussed the last time, the apology this guy made about Daryl's deal, that he's sorry to say that people may take it wrong. I know you guys commented about it on the show, and I was like, so you sat there, you talk crap about people, you didn't do your own research. It's almost the same thing what's happening right now. They come with this, first it's towards arrest agenda. At some point it came to talk AARD. So what Leopold said exactly the same. So what are they doing? From the arrest agenda, they became inclusive. They didn't have it inclusive for the first time. So okay, let's do inclusive this time. Change the word. And now just the last time, this lady called Banke King, actually something like that. Banke King, the former foreign minister of Liberia, who also expressed some dissatisfaction over. No, she was in the country. One of the strong members of the Unity Party was not invited at the launching of that particular agenda program. And how inclusive would that be? So these are powerful people with a lot of connections. So I'm wondering, is there a concern for me to see if this agenda is actually going to be out of the paper? I hope it's not NLP, the people, how do you call it? What's the thing you say again? On George Weah. what was the program name for? What's the name of the program for George Floyd? The last time he was in power, came on this thing, the pro agenda, which was all about making noise. So the PAPD, thank you very much. So basically, we think like whatever they put together is just about flow show. It's like we hope to see happening, but I don't think the next 4 years we're going to see, or the next 5 years we're going to see anything happening, because up to now we're waiting for budget to pass. My budget is even, okay, it's about 800 million Liberian dollars, US dollars. How much that does not even, whether the art or the arrest the general going to pick on that. So we hope to see, and they keep telling us we should keep our expectation is too high. We should keep it low and see what will happen. So there's a concern. There's a really serious concern. Sorry.
So
there's a concern that I do believe that. Okay, manage your expectation, whatever you say. So it's basically like what we're trying to see here is the government is trying to just tell us we are not ready yet, but we'll let you know when we are ready. So this is my take on that. Just to add to what Liv have said, the government should have prepared this. Yeah. It started with the kitchen cabinet. When they came in, there were a lot of rumors, issues about who to appoint as a minister, appointing this minister, appointing, erasing names. Later on, they came out to themselves almost a year trying to put people to power after erasing them. To positions. Now came back with the 9 agenda just a couple of weeks back. This program was launched. So it should even be prepared before it came to power. So they're not ready. So this being on course, well, it's a question mark for me. Then the broadcast agenda is on course. I think it's not on course. Will it be on course? That's my question. If I were to write this story, that's what I'm going to write. I'll do my caption. Broadcast agenda will be on course. So that's my take on it.
Francis, come in because I know you from the start of the conversation you said things are on course. So talk to us.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, look, you can be as much a pessimist you want to be. You want to be, in a negative, pursuit of the government's agenda. Yeah. Look, with all the things that are going in Monrovia or going in Liberia, the government has some missteps along the way, agreed. But the government agenda is definitely taking shape and form, and it will definitely be on course, and it is on course. Governance and government is a process. One has to be very meticulous in what and how you go about the governance of the country. The first task was to put things in order that were messed up. The blueprint that was left by Ellen to carry the government further. The last government came on, the CDC government came with the PAPDP, and some of the PADP is in this agenda as well. So that's something to carry forward. So this is not limited to this government. No, this is for future governments to come. And I believe the government is on the right track, on the right trajectory, to make our country a better place. We're having all these things, or the infrastructure getting started. The roads are being taken care of. Before the dry season ends, most of the roads will be completed. Moreover, the potholes, the repairs and the maintenance of the roads in Moreover is ongoing. The Freeport to what you call to St. Paul Bridge and beyond is ongoing as well.
Well, it's ongoing, according to Brother Mensah. You're right. It's ongoing. Government is continuity, and it takes time. But with the government being in Linford, I agree with you. Being in government for 12 years, all the experience for 50 years, you you should start the ball rolling. No if, but we came to rescue. The country have not been rescued yet. So from 2025, January this month, up to 2029, January 2029, Liberia should be like where Joe we are said Miami. So we look forward to seeing that until that
No.
time.
We promised Miami. We promised Monrovia.
Oh, Monrovia. Okay.
Where's
this government promised. He said you're trying to draw an analogy.
Yeah.
I mean, we did not promise Miami as Georgia. We promised
What's the
Monrovia.
Francis?
Say that again.
Francis,
Jamal?
where's the rescue team now? Train? Where's the rescue train? I know you're the conductor on the rescue train now. Where is at the moment? Where's the location?
Oh, the train is in Liberia. You're expected to go out of Liberia. The train is it tracks.
The location. Where is it located right now? Is it somewhere around there? You have to start from somewhere before you come to it. At least you have to journey. So I want to know where is this starting from? That's the question I'm asking. So I'm talking specifically about the project of government.
Before 2029, the team will make a complete cycle.
Where is it beginning from? Where is it starting from?
Monrovia and anywhere into Monrovia.
Look, okay. Jamal,
we hope to see 25 January 2029.
The rescue mission. The rescue mission train have derailed from rehab to the Capitol building.
Well, the sabotage is on the track.
So the track. What's the next story, Jamal?
Another story, Paul.
Yeah. So.
Hello?
You hearing me?
Hello?
Yeah, what's the next story, Jamal, if you can hear us?
Yeah, I do.
Right.
There's another story that popping up recently on the New Dawn newspaper about Liberia signs $7 million contract to renovate the Providence Island. Gentlemen, this is another story here. Just telling that even the money is not coming from us. We don't have any other thing on the priority list right now. I mean, I agree that Providence Islands is one of the historic sites in Liberia, but now $70 million coming from the monument. And they want to, so the government signed that and to make sure that they can renovate the $7 million be going to this particular island to renovate it. Now the question is, don't we have another priority area, the JFK, University of Liberia, the major highways, and medical hospital, JFK, Redemption Hospital, Field Hospital, other hospitals around the country, when our people are going out of the country for medical treatment. So it is a priority right now. I mean, I may be wrong.
Linford?
Yeah, this one is a welcoming news. So we hope that they will be able to acquire this contract, the money for this contract, and let's see how the island will look, because this island have been like that from the time some of our beginning. We've seen this island look very dilapidated all the time, and we hope that this will give it a facelift and that the money will not go in somebody's pocket, because just in year one they were able to sign for $22 million to recondition road, and we can see the road when you ask, they say we use all the 22 million, but how much you use, we know that. How much remain, we know. So we hope that this one will work.
They're telling all the agenda is on course.
Yeah, that's what Francis said.
Oh God.
Look, we just coming with it.
Okay.
Yeah, Francis,
Look,
go on.
I mean, look. Did you read the story? Was it a government Liberia
No,
they call it project, or
no,
was it?
we read the story. We are saying to you, it's not a government Liberia, it's
Yeah.
a fund that's
So
giving the money to Liberia to run the bit.
yes. So yeah.
We know the story. What
Yeah.
we are saying here, Mono, is this. Go on.
So you have this. We have an opportunity from goodwill, organization, the individuals telling they want to clean the public. I said no, 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 no. Take it to the JFK. They have other projects in line in the pipeline that should go to JFK. And
Well, have
also,
you announced that anytime recent?
everything does not have to be announced simultaneously.
But, Francis, the thing we're talking about here is like we are parity in the country. We're not saying that the issue of
Look at this
infiltration
place.
site.
Look at this place. Is this not a priority? This is a health hazard. Look at how
No, probably seen it from the top.
dirty
It's
that
not like
place
that.
is.
The place is just it's been abandoned. That's it. Compared to what you say, it's not a garbage site. You see it from the top. That's a real view of this place. But what we're saying
It
here, we
is.
are not saying you should. You're not saying you should turn down the money.
You go to Liberia. You go to Liberia sometime, anytime soon. Let me announce to the people that they know, so they secure the people waiting for you at the airport.
So,
You
Jamal,
go and visit that Providence Island. You see how dirty it is. This is a site that should give Liberia millions of dollars. That where the slaves, free slaves, first arrived. That where the exchange of tobacco and gin was done to allow the slaves the settlers to come. So this is a very historical site. Why can't we put enough money to attract people? We're talking about tourism. This is a touristic attraction right there.
Okay.
Spending
I
$7
get you.
million.
But the question we are saying here, we are not saying that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
I understand your point, boss. What I'm trying to explain to you, the money was given as a gift to Liberia to fix or to renovate that place. Fine. But what are we doing? Send the agenda be pronounced, or send it 1 year. Have we heard of anything about prioritizing our healthcare delivery system, our educational system, our road networks all being spoken about, but there's nothing done. Well, especially healthcare. Most of our people are traveling abroad for medical. We just talk about the prostate cancer screening. There's no diagnostic center in Liberia, government run up well-equipped diagnostic center in Liberia where the medical laboratories are, where you can check these conditions. Then we're talking about 70 million. Well, I agree that you're giving 7 million, but now I'll tell you, first, thank you very much. That's not my priority right now. Can we help me find somebody to help me fix my medical centers, fix my schools, Universal Liberia, where you bring in to pay somewhere almost 25,000 per month, where you don't have the buildings, then there's no chairs. They don't even have a good library. No good ITC center. They're telling me that you want to you want to run the place where you don't need more attention at the moment. I'm talking priority. That's what I'm saying, Francis. Somebody gave you the phone, then you tell me I need the phone for something else. Give it to me for this one. You need to tell them what you want the money for. They want to give it to you. They want okay, but they bring 7,000 now to agree to allow gay marriage in Liberia. Will you accept it?
I didn't get that part.
Hello, Francis. I'm talking.
Yeah, you breaking a little bit. Jamal, you breaking.
No, I think it's the internet connection. I don't know what's happening from this end this time.
Yeah.
I was talking about we need to, even they bring money for you right now. If I come to you now, the FLI needs some money. That's okay. What I want to do, I'll give you money for a specific location. Forget about your priority right now. What will you do? Will you take the money?
So Jamal, I don't think you should give Francis Halter on this. If you go through the document, this money was $100 million were put aside by the War Momentum Fund, and the U.S. Embassy of Liberia, the U.S. Embassy in Liberia secured this $7 million for Liberia for a 5 years project. So is they gave it to other countries, and Liberia was there's a grant that gone to Liberia. So it's something that will put aside for heritage. So other countries benefited from it. But your point is taking on board that we have other priorities, which is granted. But there is a free money from the UN embassy to help that area. My only concern is the Providence Island, the bridge is on. That bridge should be looked at, because during the war, there were a lot of motor that they sent onto that bridge. So if you're going to have that site fixed for historical reason, will you be looking at maintaining that Gabriel Tucker Bridge as well? Would that be part of this?
You see, the thing is that you guys, you are late, Paul.
I'm not. I'm just saying something here. I'm not
the
late.
Gabriel Tucker Bridge. The Gabriel Tucker Bridge is in the current construction along the corridor from Gabriel Tucker Bridge as far as St. Paul Bridge and beyond. The Japanese are already doing the work.
No, Francis, don't get this wrong. You're getting it wrong. From the Gabriel Tucker Bridge to how to call it Freeport Junction, Somalia Drive there is run by the John Yubote guy who were giving money to construct that bit. The one you're talking about, the Japanese going to take it from Freeport Junction all the way to St. Paul. So
Freeport
two contracts going. Don't get it confused.
But the St. Paul, the Gabriel Tucker Bridge has always been in the news.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The John Yubote is the one who is contracted to get that from Gabriel Tucker Bridge to Freeport Junction there with Ghanansville. And
so you agree that the Gabriel Tucker Bridge can be looked out? It got be looked out now.
Saying. So the fact is,
no, I disagree right now, because what I'm saying here, there are more priorities, gentlemen. That's my point.
Yeah, I agree.
You are telling me right now that somebody is telling me let's introduce homophobia to Liberia. We're bringing 8 million because the LQB or whatever you call them, the queer community is bringing 10 million to Liberia to support the gay community.
Is that the reason why they get the money?
No, free money. No, I'm just giving a reason. I'll give you another scenario here. Well, there's a free money. Why you can't take free money? Just mention about free money. I'm talking about if you bring free money, why can't you?
Come on, go ahead with your analogy or your example.
No, but you still don't understand that. So do we believe that we should not prioritize self-care area right now? Tell me, send the government 1 year. What have they told you about any of these medical centers?
JFK has been prioritized all along.
And when? Send the government to the power. Have they said anything about the medical centers? Listen, the first thing Joshua did, if you remember, when he came to the first thing he was talking about, after Ellen came up with the Johnson Abdul Hospital in Nima, Georgia came up with the 14 Meritor Hospital, and he built that. Okay, let's say, without saying they should build Meritor Hospital, we're saying that equipped and put enough staff, equipped, and make the place look good. And let have enough doctors, train people, and facility in the hospital, in those very medical centers. I've reached all the agenda. You never heard of anything of such. Nothing for the 1 year. Nothing. And you travel abroad for medical treatment. We just talk about the prostate cancer training right now. Then you're talking about arrest agenda. Isn't that a match of a healthcare delivery system? That's my point. I'm not saying that it's not something we should not take in, but if someone giving you money for something, thank you very much for the money. But we would love to have this particular area, education. We bring in somebody to pay $25,000 as a president of the hospital, and the hospital, the university.
The people have this money. They have this money geared and targeted.
You see, the thing here, we like free money. We have money. We don't know priority. You're not even understanding me, my brother. You're not understanding me. If somebody give you free money, you take. You don't know priorities because you want free money. That's where we got problem.
What's the priorities? I mean, I gave you money. I said this money is intended for this stuff. Then you tell me no, don't do it, and do it for something else.
No, that's okay. That government should be. I'm saying you should take about the first thing you should be. Government should be telling us right now is what I've been doing to the healthcare system, the educational system, the road network has been talking about. What have we heard so far for the past 1 year? That's my question. Let's take the free money. What are those are priorities for any government. Have you heard of any?
Yes, I
They
heard.
say in the pipeline. You say in the pipeline. It's on agenda. They keep saying on the pipeline. These are abstract. Nothing's happening.
What else?
Anything
The physical,
happening
the things
right
that are
now?
tangible, the roads are happening. They're building the
Good.
roads.
Jema, the Japanese, what doing the Gary Talker Bridge is also a free money because everything in Liberia we always go out to beg. It's all about begging.
Yeah.
I
But then
agree. I mean, that's the right thing you say now.
yeah, this is where for this particular project is were initiated by the U.S. Embassy. They actually secure this grant through this war momentum
Paul,
fund.
listen to me. Listen. Paul, I'm sorry for interrupting you. What I'm trying to say here is this. The president, with most of the ministers, have been traveling across various continents, attending conferences and meetings, where they can tell these people, since we are very good begging, we should beg for the prioritized area. That's what I'm saying. You got my point.
Listen,
That's my point.
You know how much
he went to China. China is very good giving. Some, I don't know, 50 million, I heard it in the news, but it was not the case. Some money was given. If in any case, for the first 1 year, those priority areas, what have been done with those areas? Let's say that the budget has not been passed, and the 22 million was signed for roads. Nothing happened. We can't give account of that $22 million. But then what are the areas where the major area, if your country is not healthy, the healthcare delivery system is poor, is a problem. The education system is poor, is a problem. Road network infrastructure is poor, is a problem. Electricity is a problem. Those are key areas you're looking at. Are we saying that we have traveled to various countries for conferences? If you're good at begging, if you beg to try and start working on it before your budget's passed, that's my point here, Paul.
I agree with your point. Let's prioritize things. I agree. So the what you just said is fine, but in the arrest general that you're talking about, that does not have the health sector in it. So if the health sector is not in it, it's not a priority. They focus on what they want to focus on.
Look at the arrest
so
general.
they tell
There's nothing
education, agriculture, rules, and
sanitation.
No, healthcare is not in it.
Only sanitation. That's not healthcare. And Zimbabwe is one of the best countries in Africa with the healthcare system. One of the best. Zimbabwe healthcare system is good, as well as the educational system. So in Zimbabwe, under Mugabe, you have one of the best healthcare systems. Looking at sanitation, hygiene. That's what is healthcare. It's not even looked at, and that's one of the area we are suffering from. Very, very serious area. And you're telling me we'll give you $7 million to go everywhere. Fine, take it now and go fix the place where your people are all dying in various health centers. Look what they should done was look at all.
Jamal, let me fair here. The contract was signed by another group of people that would do this thing for 5 years. I don't think the money go in the hands of Liberian contractors.
Well, I'm not arguing that though.
Okay.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not saying that they should not get the Liberian money. I say what I'm saying to you is like for the past 1 year, the governments have been traveling across the continents, going to various conferences. They are very good at begging. Have they begged to look at those areas before we got a budget passed, before the aid project come on? That's my point I'm raising here.
We don't know yet, so the arrest people have to tell us if they have
money.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So saying the brother is part of the agenda program. Let him tell us how much does he know about these priorities area. That's my concern. Same way to the renovation of the place. Good idea.
I'm telling you, the health facilities across this country going to be resuscitated. You're going to be given a face. President
Boyka, like a politician, right? I'm telling you, this will happen.
President Boyka did visit the JFK when he took over. He went to see the maternity wards, patients who were there at the time appreciated the government for that, and the Minister of Health and the director, the director general of what you call it, JFK. They're out there making some serious negotiation for the institution, and you pretty soon you'll see now everything has to come to the news.
Jamal, I told you
Yes.
on this program, I said before, if your Christmas will be good, you know from the eve. The 1 year that is gone, the 1 year was terrible. So now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the arrest agenda. I said it. So, and they told us, they made it clear from January this month, 2025 to January 2029. That's where you see the beauty. And our mock say it will be the Miami, according to Josh Weir. So let's get into October this year. Then we start seeing the effect of the new AARD. Until yet, we can't say anything what the AARD going to do because it started implementation this month. You see, here we go.
Now, the person will deliver his second sonnet on the ground of the Capitol building. That is the State of the Nation address. So we hear his development programs, what they have done for the past 1 year, the progress, the failure, the expected. So, yeah. So this is going to be on the 27th of this month. So we hope to hear from them and we'll follow it. I think Bottomline will be following live at the base.
Yeah.
I'll be en route to Liberia. So you said the security guy will be waiting for me. Let wait for me. I will be there. So you said you will show me telling I'm arriving. So let me wait for me. They don't know.
Well, so the sooner is still next week. So what we expect? What will be the deliberation here? The burning of the Capitol building to start with, because rule of law was violated.
For me, let me start.
That's
what I'm telling you. What I expect from the president's speech. You know what happened before these things in the similar place, or not sorry, in Western countries before the president present a speech or give this explanation of the address speech, all this circulated. The news media were having it. They'll be analyzing the key points and they'll be presenting it. It happened in the UK a week before he gave the state address. Yeah. Every major news outlet or channels you have, at least the press official release the key points of the president's speech or the prime minister's speech to the nation, so people can have an idea. Then they know how to analyze it. The pundits or political pundits will be looking at it and looking at it, but then we don't know what is going to be said. But we just speculating it. What I'm going to say is like he's going to apologize for the delay. I'm just giving my own perspective. The president is going to apologize for the delay. He's going to give a high hope that things are going to be fine. They will deliver. We should look up to them, and they'll be looking at some areas like the agenda, the aid or the arrest agenda is on course. They will do their best to have it delivered for the next years they're in office. We should not expect to be like a miracle, but they're going to have some tough journeys through. That's going to be a speech. And I hope you tell us some major projects that are coming on way and they're going to be starting. Not only saying it, I hope you'll be able to tell us when they will start and when they're going to end. So those, we've heard a lot of the speeches where a person will come and say a lot of stuff, but there's no substance. So I hope to hear that he will tell projects that are going to start ASAP and will be to the benefit of Liberians, and it should be finishing before his office ends. So this is my take on his speech that will be given on the 27th. Since we don't have copy or nobody has a copy of it, and now we should know what is the key points in his speech. But that's what we expect to hear from him on the 27th of this month.
Right. Francis, what are your thoughts on this? Because usually the government will lay out the achievement in the year, and then the other segment of the speech should be like the lay out what's going to happen the year to come. What are your thoughts?
Look, I don't know why we call it State of the Nation address, because State of the Nation address is in America. But anyway, we copy, we do copy cats all the time. This is a president honor message, to the nation. What I know is that the president we actually speak, or gave an overview of it's 1 year in office with challenges and the prospects or whatever, and the gains made, and then looking for 2025. What are the plans, uh, for the administration? So basically, that's it. And after that, then the people will go into do some analysis. They will dissect the entire speech or the address to the nation. You might have one or two points out there in the media, you know, discussion points, but the entirety of the speech cannot go to the media before it reach. Probably the day after the immediate after that, he will hand it out to the media, and then people can do their own what you call it interpretation and criticism and of the speech. But yeah, I think that basically that what's going to happen. The speech you're going to, there are going to be a lot of talking about what they inherited. The bad things they inherited. So I mean, it is all. I mean, it happened to all government. All governments will come out with they inherited the bad stuff. They were fixing it for 1 year. So to be honest, I think that's what he's gonna say. Yeah.
Right. So Francis, you're right, because that's what they will do. They will lay out the achievement and the way forward and what Liberia should expect. And another thing is, Jamal, I don't know how this going, because in a normal country, well, no, Liberia is not a normal country. My country, Liberia, I said it's not a normal country. Normal country, what they'll do, usually they gave out these copies to the opposition. Like in Britain here, the opposition will have it, and then right after the prime minister have come up with his talk, the opposition will see the loophole to say, no, you went wrong. This was not right. They say it right that they have a rebuttal. But in Liberia, it will take a day or two before the opposition come up with their own rebuttal. But then they move on. So Liberia, until Liberia become a normal country, you wouldn't have those sort of system that we're advocating for that. Before he take the podium, the opposition leaders, you have copy of this, the press you have, then people can analyze, then they come with their rebuttal. But after a day or two before we hear our opposition. So it is where it is in Liberia. So I think Linford, welcome.
Paul, I also doubt that if they will invite oppositions into that to be part of that SONA speech. So they may not even invite them.
That's another thing. That's Liberia. So therefore, we're just talking about the president's second SONA that is due next week. And we are just asking what's going to be in it, the way forward, the arrest agenda, the achievement of 2024, and the new AAID will be talking about that they will get us by the end of 2029 will get Liberia should generate about $8.4 billion. That if I in Liberia, the president told us it's good to steal. So I don't know whether he mentioned this in his SONA. That's something else I'll be looking forward to. Talk to Oliver so we can move to the next segment.
Okay. Yeah. The second annual interest. Actually, this people call SONA. So Liberia does not have SONA as enshrined in our constitution, but we consider it that way. It should be annual interest. But
remember that.
Yeah, we capital care from the big brother. Yeah. I want to buy. But I think you ask what do we expect in or to hear in that SONA? Of course, the usual promises, and then their achievement when it comes to their achievement. In fact, if you see they did something very clever. The UP, what I gave them, they always ahead of their game. One thing they did cleverly is to launch this AARD agenda ahead of the SONA. So that's going to be the highlight of the entire SONA, right? And then when it comes to their achievement, and trust me, there are two things you will talk about. At least one of those two things will come. That is, they allocated $22 million towards road conditioning, and then they set up or they signed a resolution to bring war crimes code, and they set up a committee towards that effect. So one of those two things will come. And when it comes to their challenges, they will say that they inherited bad governance or they inherited bad economy from the past government. And so that kind of hindered their first year. So those three things, one of them, at least one, will have to come in the sooner. So we all wait to see how it will play out, and we hope that this sooner will be short, sweet, and to the point, instead of having bulletproof jacket on the old man, and then finally he collapsed again. I mean, let's say the way it is. So I hope the people who are planning this sooner should not do it to impress anybody. Make it short, sweet. Everybody knows that the UP government did not achieve anything during its first year. So you don't have to dress it. You don't have to window dress it. A peak is a peak. Whether you put lipstick on it, you dress it, that peak, it will stay grrr. So nobody can change that one. So we're looking forward to the speech, and we hope, like I said, it will be sweet. But believe in those three things. They will blame the government, the past government, that it took over by economy, and they are trying to fix the economy. One, they will talk about the rules, and number three, they will talk about the setting up of the War and Economic Crimes Code. Then, of course, and like I said, the AARD preceded this whole thing. That will be the highlight of it. They're going to open that book, and there what they'll be reading from to encourage the Liberian people.
Okay. What next, Jamal?
Yeah, still the same story. Yeah, we want to see that Stoner's speech. Whether he's going to be, there are other groups saying that they may not attend the president's speech. So this is the issue here. Musa Bey, who seems to be head of the caucus, say that the root of the law caucus sees the head of the root of the law. They intend to boycott the state of the national address, the annual address by the president. But that's another question. And also we have the issues of the two speakers, one deputy, one house. So those are issues that we need to be addressed as well. So it's going to be a contentious day that day. The 27th is going to be a tough day. They're going to be here on the ground of the Capitol building. So there are a lot of things coming up. I don't know how ready is it because he's not a very healthy old man. So we hope Liberia will be at peace that day. When one group is trying to boycott his speech, while other two speakers are available. One is still hanging, one is so we don't know how they're going to play out, but it's going to be a nice thing to watch.
Jamal, and on a very serious note, we were just talking about the AARD, and this is supposed to start implementation in January. Now, with the rule of law is something that may hinder this government. If they don't sort this thing out, where there is noise, you cannot function on a noise. And I don't see they gaining or to do or develop the AARD that is trying to push the Liberian people. If these things does not sort itself out, it's just not good for the country that you have a group of lawmakers telling you, say, because you have two speakers, the other speaker in the group will not be attending. So that may the noise continue from last year, it will continue up to the middle of this year. And you will not achieve anything when the place is noisy. And this is how I see. I don't know what the leadership is that over 50 years experience have not come to play in this one. I just don't get it. and this is not good for Liberia. So based on what is happening now, if this not sorted, that arrest or the AAID agenda that they're pushing forward, they will not achieve it. And I'm being honest here.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
Lepo said is right. You know, I'm still trying to understand how these people see government functional activities, because you got lawmakers, and remember, even one lawmaker in a problem in a particular government is not healthy, because that lawmaker represents a constituent, and the people that he represents are the voters. So you got a group of lawmakers who have been having problem trying to remove their colleague, and the other group that support that particular mayor say no, the mayor is still the legitimate one. But because the executive wants to do business with the it's so not hard to find word to describe it. With the renegade group, they offer them money, they do everything just to facilitate them to create a picture that okay, they are legitimate. And here is it, that within few days from now, the president is supposed to be giving his speech. And the question now, Lepo said, is who will be recognized? But of course, clearly the government is going to recognize the one that they are two people fighting, but one of them got somebody who's supporting him. So you always support that the one you're supporting. Whether they beating him, you say fight, punch, you know. So that's what we all looking at to see. And if Musa bill, if representativities or a session is true that they want to boycott, I think that will also cripple. It will cripple that function, for the fact that all the lawmakers will not be present. And I don't know whether this government is looking at the future, that time will come, 2029, there will be elections, and you go stand in front of the same group to campaign, the same people who you are at loggerheads with, you're supporting one group against them, whether you go there to go camping. So, but they're not looking ahead. And one thing people in the UP do know is that President Walker has aged. The man is 80 years old now. Come 2029, he'll be I don't know, 86 or whatever. Okay. So that may care whether they're voting or not, but the party is still going to remain. And that's what the Unity Party people now looking at. That okay, this man will be out. So what happens to our party? How do we keep the party going when we do all the bad things within 6 years time? And maybe they think that 6 years is everlasting. But let's see what's going to happen. I can tell you, Paul and Chima, a few days from now, during the presidency, now what will happen will determine the rest of what will happen during the 6 years to come.
But this is what I'm talking about, Linford. That's the noise. This thing need to be resolved. If it's continued, when the place is noisy, man, the agenda will not go on, because what happened now, those who in the government ministries that are supposed to carry on the agenda, they will be on radio station defending the government.
Yeah.
And while defending, you're not prosper. This is the fact. I don't know how long, but let's move on quickly here before Jamal come back on the program tonight. There's something here. You see that the burning of that Capitol building, the police said they arrested few people from Fonanti Kofa office, and they been sent to Central Prison. They had them for over 12 days. Some of them were tortured, and eventually they charged them. And the funny thing is, with this story here, according to the police IG, when they look at the smoke, they knew that from the look of the smoke, there were arson attack on the building, just from the look. On the same very day, when the place was still on fire, the entire cabinet, including the president, they all ran into that Capitol building in the surrounding. which we had a program here, and I said the president tampered with the investigation. But going onto that ground, you have tampered with the investigation. There were people in the building, video recording and all that. So by the look of fire, we managed to hear from the police RG that the smoke was not also from the look of it. So I want to bring in this out that we're going to go to. There was a program here by Closing Argument, and they have this Ken man who he went to Liberia over 12 different times to help train the Liberian fire service. And they interviewed him, and that question was posed to him. And I think we'll play the video for our audience to follow. This is quite interesting. So we just want to link it with that. And we want to see what Ken said. Let me see if I can start here on the video now. And it's quite fascinating to hear that. It's good that Closing Argument brought this man on and asked him that question. So this was his response. Let me see if I can remove the thing here, put it down. Jamal, can you remove that, please? Okay. So, Lofa Judah asked this man a question.
Visually, they were able to make that determination based on your experience. And I quote, well, not quote, but I state what was stated per the Inspector General. He said the color of the fire helped in that determination process where they were able to make that determination. So based on your experience, several years of experience, how much would you rely, if there is a possibility that you can make that determination just based on visual, how much would you rely on that? And is there even a possibility that you can use that as a determining point to conclude that, yes, this indeed was the cause of the fire?
No, there is no possibility. And here's why. The color of smoke helps us, doesn't determine, but helps us determine what's burning, but won't tell us what started it from burning. So we got 6 of us on that. Let's just take a little survey. I'm sitting in a vehicle and I'm sitting on a regular vehicle cushion made out of foam. Who else is sitting on a chair that's either made out of foam or made out of plastic? Probably all of us. Okay. Yeah. Foam and plastic is made out of a petroleum product. So the challenge that we have is, there's no doubt in my mind, looking at the video of the smoke from the Capitol, you had accelerants burning, but I don't know what the furnishings of the chamber were. Part of the investigation would be
This is an expert. And now the RG said the look of the fire, they started arresting people. I want to play another clip before we come into another clip. I want to listen to this one here.
If it was a solar rain,
it depends on the quantity. You know, I'm on a road trip, as you can tell, and I pulled over, and I'm in a parking lot next to a gas station. All right, so I'm staring at a semi-tractor trailer that's full of gasoline. You know, one of those big tanker trucks that roll through America here. And there's probably 5,000 gallons. If that's spilled out, or if we dumped 5,000 gallons into a building, lit it on fire, it's obviously going to take a whole lot longer for either to burn it or for it to evaporate than if we poured a cup into a room and lit it on fire. So there's not an easy answer to that question. Here's what I'll tell you from an investigator's perspective. Time is of the essence, because even the smallest amount, it's a liquid. It's like water. Water finds its way through the tiniest little gap and crack. And so if the floor of the chamber If it was carpet, we pull up the carpet. If it was tile, we pull up and collect the tile. If it's wood, we cut out sections of the wood. And it's likely that underneath whatever that is, there might, within the first day, there might still be liquid, and that liquid still hasn't fully evaporated. So the more there is.
The investigation, therefore, why am I bringing this out? The police started arresting people based on the look of the smoke. But what this guy is saying, if it's arson, it's liquid. Gas is liquid. It's like water. If you took up, say for example, you put up gasoline or kerosene in a bottle and let fire throw it. By the time it land, it will burst. That liquid will find itself somewhere. The water will travel somewhere. And at that point, they will cut all that piece and take it to the laboratory to determine which arson were used, which accelerant were used. But in the case of Liberia, they started arresting people from one person's office and then saying, oh, it's arson, and then they get this guy tortured for 12 days. Where say you live for?
But you see, again, we go back to square one. And when we talk, people who support the government will have other things to say. Where in the world a major fire disaster like this will take place, and then all of a sudden the next day, in fact, while the fire was going on, firefighters were trying to put out the fire. Then you had journalists in there taking pictures, which was even very risky. Then the next day, all the top government officials, including the newly created speaker, who is the center of this whole thing, show up at the site. Police did not call on them. Police did not advise the president that, Mr. President, we have had a major, all this in that blunder. Mr. President, we have had a major fire disaster here. It's possible that if it was explosive that blew the building up, or if it was gas that blew the building up, it's still dangerous for even, because the president is the number one man in the country. So for the police to allow the president to go on the ground while the smoke was still in the building the next day, and then the president
the same day.
No, it was the
it's
next
the
day.
same day.
It was the
The
next
same
day.
day.
The
No,
same day. You sure?
the same day. The smoke
Okay,
was
well,
still
the
there.
same day or the next day, whether it was even 1 week after, it was not safe for him to go there. So for the police to not even advise the president not to go there was wrong, one. Two, that the president, without any consultation with experts, comes out and blame the whole incident on people he termed as hooligans. That alone, we said this thing last week, that alone prejudices the entire case. Now, nobody in his right mind, okay, will look at the president after making that comment, and not even Gregory Coleman or not the fire chief will say, no, that's what the president said. He said that hooligans said if they building on fire, that lie. They building caught fire by itself. They will not do it. Okay? And besides that, even before the investigation started, they called people for questioning. They called Safoko for a statement he made some 6-7 months back. So they just had to find a way, Paul, to be able to again, you go to the hospital, Mama, let me tell you, if you well, you go to the hospital, the doctor can look at you for long and say, Mama, you're here hurting or something wrong with you. You can't say no, because you went to the doctor. So they just have to find something at fault. And guess what? The police, the whole case coming from the whole investigation coming from the police and the fire service, right? The policeman, you buy a new brand card, right for the policeman, the brand new card, they just take it from any machine, they put it down. You buy it, you start it, and the policeman arrest you. He will still find fault on you. So police people, you cannot pass by them. The last time we were talking to Francis here, police people will always operate on suspicion. The police has never show off anybody. So they had to find some means to blame somebody for this thing, because the president had already said somebody did it. So you can't go say that a president lied. So they pick a few guys and carry them and torture them into submission to confess. And so what do you expect? So, then the police actually say the smoke. He just look at the smoke, then he determine. I don't know how can police determine the cause of fire. But what this expert said, for instance, if you use liquid, gas or fuel or what any flammable item, okay, you got to know first. They got to determine how the flow of the building was, whether that tar flow or that wooden flow, or if the fire started on the door, because fire would not point concrete. They got to look for something combustible. So that liquid will flow. That liquid will flow, and even small piece of it will still be there. It will carry the smell or the substance. It will carry some properties of that substance. You see? So we're waiting for that. And they send a guy to and guess what? Paul, there are several. Let me get close on this one. There are several things are happening in the one fire incident. Number one, the fire burned. The scene the president went there, he made a statement, he left from there. The next day, the house passed a budget to renovate the house. When you got all of infrastructure, hospital, that the government officials can go to Ghana to go take treatment. Their own hospital, they're not taking care of it, but one capital building point, they are not even call engineers to come and assess the damage to know how much it will cost in the past budget. All the things, it can tell you something, even if you're crazy, man.
Linford, we both been around for a while. And me, Tobotan, I really didn't see Tobo that much because I was kid. But though time, at least I saw do. So I can. This incident, what happened today in Liberia is 1980 repeating itself. And guess what? The rescued father was in the 1980 government. I mean, think on this. The J. Flan Zemito incident that will have been brought back to life. If people don't get this thing right, how on earth that the place stay burning? You go there, then you say will not allow hooligans. So what the president did, he let out the master plan. You see, he forgot because what happened when the police can say premeditated stuff. You premeditate something to happen, and then somebody go let it out. They planned this, how it was going to be there. He meant not to be the spokesperson to let it out, but the fact is they were going to grab a group of these guys and put them in jail because the justice minister spoke last week, said they will go for lawmakers. How can you conclude it's lawmakers? You already grabbed 3 other persons from one particular person office. So what does that tell you? Now the other scenario here is it was not a returner that got burned. It was the joint chamber that these other, what you call renegade people were having session, and they have access to that particular side of the Capitol building. They have keys for that Capitol building. The other people you talk about, what they call the rule of law, they don't have access. So who broke into that particular door to put in this fire? If it's awesome, how come the speaker chair and the deputy speaker chair were taken out of that particular session for itself in Monrovia City Hall? These are questions, and people want us to.
And the interesting thing about this thing here, let me tell you, the last time I give a parable here. The old people who can make it fun. You brushing it for it, and you see the big tree here. You gotta call it a big tree down. You think you will leave all the small tree around and call it? No. You clear around it first before you can start cutting it down. So the intent, like you rightly said, the intent was okay. Safogo made statement long time ago And as Safogo they was supporting Funati Kofa. So say this year is going Funati Kofa is playing her here, so to speak, to step down, we'll look for all kind of way. Then somebody say, "Oh, I told you the UP people they always try to be ahead of that game. They did it in the CPP. They know how to lie on all the people. So they say, okay, yeah, somebody get body out there. Hey, I still get that video. What's that for? Was saying you were pointing building here. Okay, bam. That was the master plan. So they planted people. Yeah, they planted people to do the job. Then the next day they invited Safuko. Safogo, I know what they thought, Safogo, you know, if anybody should be arrested, it should be Safogo that was arrested and sent to jail. Okay, but they let Safogo go. The man who said it in the let him go. Then,
you can't just arrest somebody if you get evidence.
You know, but
the moment it happened, what happened? But they send police that money to a house and and police to go arrest him. He was not there. So that just tell you the intent was to arrest these people because there was no investigation. Say, oh, because the guy gave statement 6 months ago, so they didn't say a person of interest. They have not done investigation. They have not established. They have not done laboratory tests of what caused it. But because he made statement, so the same money, police were at his house. So, and people said it now, look, I said, this is 1980 have repeated itself in a way that people not getting this. Say they're talking about because they want to take SAR. This is the plan. Zamito incident.
Liberian people, they let us take things for granted. Things that will, create problem, we all let us slide away. They're sitting there looking to be lying on people. A government that was elected by the people, you begin to go after people and lie on them, try to eliminate your opponent. This is already bad precedent. The same thing that started in 1990 war. The same thing.
Thank you.
The same thing. Where people went to do, they say, that man in a good man, so had to run in Ezra. And then to make it worse, himself came back. When they did a coup, it failed. Then Dona had enough ground to pursue the people of Nima County. And then the people of Nima County, they ran away. They said, okay, we'll go back to pay them. That's what we are today. This year, you go after Funati and his people. Because the next person, because I listened to the Justice Minister's statement a few days, that even if the lawmaker will come for you. Yeah. So if you need arresting because what they wanted was arresting the guys that work in the office, torture them, and they will make statement. And that statement, they will implicate the lawmaker. They will say that lawmaker told, of course, if the thing is clear, they will say that lawmaker told them, and that lawmaker told you to go and point a play. Yeah, simple. Okay. So then they will go for a lawmaker now. But let me tell you, Funati Kofa is a legal luminary. They're not playing with one Joe Blow from downwater, sir, because there are several clues legally. If lawyers outline those things, number one, the building was burned in a very surreptitious way. Who had access to the police? To the building, it was the police. The part that got burned, it was controlled by the so-called majority black. Number two, how did they, like you mentioned, if the people are going to get burned, how, and the place indeed got burned, who was there to take the speaker and the deputy speaker chief quick and get it out that it didn't burn? And then it was at City Hall and all the kind of things. That's several small more things. So, I think it's now the real battle coming to start. It will not be to remove Kofa. It will be to catch Kofa. And Kofa will die hard in a court defending himself. So, this will play out. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah. Before Jamal comes in, Liberia they have a good history that we can tell. But I will tell you, I'll take you to the Nyanse story, the Ali Nyanse story. That's Liberia history.
I only saw when they hanged them.
Ali Nyanse was very good friend of my mom. She even went to the wake and the hanging. The other Nyanse story that they came out with, other Nyanse were not in Maryland. They were all in Monrovia when that thing took place in Maryland. And they had this woman called Tanya and other people to confess. because what the Nyanse group, they were, and the Anosin, they were very powerful people. Anosin was the two-way party chairperson at the time. So Ale Nyanse was the one to challenge Tolbo for the presidency. Tolbo saw him that in a two-way party, he was very influential. So they had to eliminate that group from the Maryland bill. They were very powerful people in the legislature in a two-way party. So when that case came up, Tolbo did not hesitate, not that, because they say you honor all reasonable doubt until these people are in Morovia, but the way the way they convicted them, it was based on they say, and that they say killed them.
Well, that
was it. They say that I bring you back to Flanzamiton. When those said that thing over Flanzamiton, what happened? Flanzamiton was not clever enough to know the names, so he wrote it on a piece of paper. We could see the handcuff. He was trying to read from the piece of paper, and he was not even pronouncing those who they wanted. And what happened? Though ended up killing him. This is the repeat of Flanzamiton's story that happening in our eyes. A good as some of us been around for a while, we saw what happened, and we're living right in Jalatown there. We saw what happened to the 50 caliber that when Flanzamiton said he put it this way, he couldn't go and do escape, according to him. That is the repeat that is happening now to the Capitol building. In my own judgment, I'm not a fire person, I'm not a police officer. For common sense, it have come from the majority block that burned that building. I'm seeing it from local things. A common sense come in play. And what Donald Trump wrote a book yesterday called the Common Sense Book, which is lacking. This is 1980 repeat itself. And guess what? Captain Boyka was in that 1980 government. So that's that style of experience, he have it in him. Jamal, what say you before we go?
Thank you very much. I know what's happening, Paul. It's the sooner address where I think things going to change a lot, and well, actually going to happen. With the arrest going on right now in Liberia is we all know it's premeditated, and because we said on this platform that we expect them to come up with an expert to be involved, and my colleague questioned idea why we don't trust our experts authorities. Because we know they are not equipped enough to come up with a decision. They may be trained, but they don't have the equipment to do to come up with this kind of judgment. When it has to do with these things, if you know the limitation of the government, at this point they always start pointing fingers. And when the person came in the first day, he said, this is not play for hooligans, so arrest those who do these acts. They know what happened. Probably we thought he was pretty informed, but once you laid up that first statement. We knew that where we should direction the investigation was going. Now, eventually, they're arresting people next to the opposing leader. It's scary. It doesn't augur well for Liberia. And I think if we're talking about the agenda, the 8 agenda, this is all about involvement, inclusivity, and they all not only about physical development, talk about peace as well. So whatever to set the record straight or to make things clear, I think the government should get people involved on outside. Independent investigation or independent investigating team to go back and reassess all the evidence or specimen collected from the building to make sure come with a judgment and final conclusion. But now if you go around start arresting people with, they didn't tell us who is the investigating, only police and vice from Liberia investigating. We know where the direction the arrest going to go. And like you said, or Linford said, one of you said it right now, arresting of Kofi and many other top guys is going to be a war. And that's going to be another total breakdown of law and order. We don't want this to happen. We want to continue. As long as we also criticize government, we want peace in our country. We long been waiting for these things to government Liberia to go like this for a long time with no development, things not going backward. We've seen other African countries going well, other developed countries doing well. As long as we say these things, not like we hear the government, we want them to do the right thing. And this is the right thing we want. We visited many African countries, we see how developed they are, how they're doing well with development. That's why we're criticizing them. But they go after you, they criticize you, if you got the dissent voice or dissent opinions, you are the target of the government. So this is wrong. We should respect other views, and we should this democracy. We should practice it. If we don't know about it, then I don't know. We should keep practicing it because if we don't know, go after people who criticize us and may in the right direction. So, but we keep finger crossed. We hope and pray that sooner will come fine and go. The stalemate of the past in the House should be resolved peacefully. So it is for 2025, January to 2025, 2029, January 2025. Liberia should be at peace. Development should be the word, the talk of town. Thank you.
Yeah. What say you, Leaf, also can close up?
Well, for me, I don't think there is anything more to talk about because it's like putting water on ducks by. We say the same thing over and over, and nothing seems to be happening positively. But I think the major thing that I personally looking forward to now is this sooner that is coming. We want to hear what they'll say. We want then at least because the biggest thing we've been hearing around here is the government actually first year. This is not the first time we heard this thing during Bonnie Jowiata. The government get to war. They knew you're getting a chance. So at least people have good defense here. They say we should get a chance. 1 year gone. And after the 1 year, they themselves, nobody put handcuff on them. They didn't say king all with their AARD, that whole bowl. So now at least we get something to hold them accountable to. So we're waiting. Let's hear what they'll say. Let them lay out their plan for this year or for the next 5 years coming. So we can start the ball in the real game has started. We got first do a warming up. It's just like, you'll go play football, then the two team warming up. Now they're not center the ball. So we're waiting to see. And that's for me, that's where we'll start from. And we can start talking now because first time we thought they was saying warming up. But it was a good show.
Great. It was a good show. And to our audience, we want to say thank you for being with us. I think it was a good show. We talk about the prostate cancer that young men need to go and check themselves. It is important. And at some point next week or week after, we'll have some doctors on the program to help us understand what is prostate cancer. And then another thing, the breast cancer too. What causes this thing and how do we prevent this? And overall, the show was good. And with what is happening in Liberia, I remember right after the election, a young lady told me in Liberia, say the UP government, what do we do? Because we in Liberia, we are stupid people. Say the people will just pick one thing and run with it, and sooner they do it, people say, yeah, the people doing good. And then the rest is history. So the sooner or not the sooner, they say your Christmas will be good from the start. The Christmas, the first year is the beginning. That's the eve of the Christmas. And the first year not looking good with the noise in the camp that people going to boycott the sooner for some reason. The 30 lawmakers stay on the verge of causing mayhem in our country. If that issue does not dissolve, I don't see how the guys will achieve. They will achieve their AAID. So it's something that would rule of law. If rule of law not in place, you will not achieve because people will get disgruntled. It will be noisy when places that are noisy, like in your house, somebody playing music all night, you can't sleep because of that music. So it's the same when place is noisy, you can't work. So I don't see how to do this unless they get a rule of law thing spot on and then let the country move forward. I hate the fact that people calling me from Liberia to send them money. I don't want that happening. Sending how the AAID that they're going to create jobs and all that. If they can have that done, I would be very happy for my country. That I'll be sitting now. Don't worry about my brothers and sisters calling me for some kind of child school fee. So I want to get it right. So on that note, guys, I think it was a great show. And we're back here again on on Friday by His grace. So we want to take you home to say to our audience, thanks for being with us as always. So we'll leave with this to cheer you all a little bit. Liberia deserves better. All the time we can't sit down and be talking. So we'll play the Kevin Adams music to say ciao and see you all on Friday.